look in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you are easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to talk to you about, ladies and gentlemen, is something I think is kind of interesting. I'm going to discuss with you of what I believe, what makes a woman become a 304. What makes her a lady of the night? What makes her a woman that we all know who live a lifestyle of promiscuity? Now, of course, it comes down to, choices, deliberate choices at that. But I want to talk about the environment and the possible atmospheres that would persuade a young woman into choosing to be a 304. Okay? So let's get into this. I'm going to have some facts and some statistical data to go along with this show today. So let me go ahead and put it on the screen for you. And let's get it. And this is for educational purposes.
I don't respect women who are sexually liberated out of trauma.
That's not fair. That's crazy.
What does that mean?
Edit that.
No.
Like she's gotten
proud of their trauma.
Yeah, being proud of your trauma. Do you think that? So when a woman, because you said being proud of their trauma, as soon as you said that, is that what you think that it is? When a woman responds like that after she's been sexually assaulted or whatever, you think it's her being proud of it?
It's not being proud. It's
okay, I just want you to, because you said that.
But
it comes to the statement that Rico made saying that I don't respect when women respond, like, I guess, with promiscuity, with out of trauma. I think that it's unfair for us to decide what someone's healing process looks like, because...
There we go. That's what I want to talk about, okay? They are talking about something that is factual, but they are not having a good understanding of it, okay? This trauma, if a young lady is a victim of forced intercourse, it can affect her. It could be traumatic for her, okay? But some women, they go through their whole lives being promiscuous, I'm trying to say, because of that. We have heard that a lot of times. Sometimes a person is touched the wrong way and they become just a person who lives their life of extreme promiscuity, okay? This woman says it is a healing process. I'm gonna tell you that it's not a healing process when they sleep around with so many people. It is a coping mechanism. Now, it's a way for them to know how, it helps them escape the pain. It helps them not remember what is hurting them. It's like a person who works on a job who gets stressed out by their boss and they want to assault the boss, but instead they go outside and smoke a cigarette to cope with the stress and the pressures and the irritations that he is getting from the boss. And this coping mechanism of smoking becomes a habit. Every time that person is irritated or stressed out or bothered in some way, that person goes light up a cigarette. They go and light up a cigarette. Now you have young women who cope with their pain by sleeping with other people. It is a form of escapism. Now, the reason why I say it's not a healing process, because if it was a healing process, then eventually that person will heal. That woman or that girl will heal. They will get over that hump. When it is a coping mechanism, you never heal. You are just pushing away the pain. You are getting away from the pain. You are avoiding the pain. You don't want to think about what is bothering you or hurting you. You're looking for the most instant gratification that can take your mind from one place to another. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? So I had to look this up because I already theorized this way back. So I'm going to put these definitions of coping mechanism up on the screen momentarily. But what I want to say is, I don't think these women are proud of the trauma that they came from. But I do believe that when they get of age to where they can make the right decision to choose to go to therapy or to get some type of help, that they are proud of what they're doing now. because I see women, and you see women all over social media bragging about their lifestyles of sleeping with other people. Even the women who are rapping and singing, bragging about it. And I do believe that some of these artists, these female artists, entertainers, rappers, whatever, also are women of trauma who have been traumatized. There's a lot of trauma in the Black community, and almost everybody needs some therapy in the Black community. But I'm focusing on the women right now. So they're not proud of it when it happens to them. They just have to find a way of living day to day to day, one day to another, through coping mechanisms. And sometimes these coping mechanisms consist of alcohol and doing drugs, as well as sleeping around. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep this going, and then I'm gonna put up the statistical data or whatnot, with some facts actually.
Us to decide what someone's healing process looks like, because even when men and boys have been touched or things like that, one of the signs that you usually notice is that they're yes, it goes up.
Right.
And so that is a side effect. It is
Right.
actually a symptom, and it's one of the key ways that your therapist is like, hold on, what happened here? And so for us to say, I don't respect this process, that's what healing looks like.
Healing does not look like that. Now, when it comes to using substances, the wrong and illegal stuff, of course you have times when a person will relapse when they're trying to get off or whatever it is they've been smoking or doing or injecting. This is not the same thing, okay? This is a mental, spiritual, emotional wound. This is not a physical wound. This is a sickness that an appetite that has been placed in an innocent person's mind, soul, and body. That's what it is. So now they have to learn how to cope with it. And when you're in the hood, you don't have a lot of positive role models who are trying to instruct you on how to cope with it. Because a lot of the women that I've met in my lifetime have been abused that way growing up. Anyway, let me put this stuff on the screen. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second as I put it on your screen. Let's read it together. Now, the question is, what is the best definition of coping? The answer is to deal with and attempt to overcome problems and difficulties. Using your body, letting anybody just run up in you. Sometimes, believe it or not, that is a coping mechanism for women who are hurting. For young minors who are hurting, who later develop into major 304s, but they are sometimes 304s in school, middle school, junior high, high school, and it goes on and goes on because they don't get help. Now, according to this right here, it says, is using sex as a coping mechanism healthy? Although using sex to cope with trauma is common, it is a course of unhealthy practice. If you don't seek help, you're likely to stay in a vicious cycle of behaviors which will make recovery almost impossible. The problem with using sex as a coping mechanism is that you're not dealing with the underlying issues. Who hurt you? The stuff the women say to men, flip it. For you women who are using intercourse as a coping mechanism, it says if you keep doing that, if you stay in that pattern, it will be almost impossible for you to recover. This is why men tell you all the time that it's almost impossible for you to pair bond with a man that you fall in love with, because you are stuck in the lifestyle of 304ing. All this stuff about, girl, I gotta go through a whole phase is the dumbest stuff on the planet. Most of those women who are encouraging you to live a whole phase are women who have been forced into intercourse when they were young themselves. Misery loves company. Just keep reading. It says here, the problem with using sex as a coping mechanism is that you're not dealing with the underlying issues. Who hurt you? Now let's read another one. It says here, using sex as an unhealthy coping mechanism can appear many ways. It can be a way to cope with life, stress, body issues, or relationship issues. It can also be a quick fix for emotional, physical, and intimate comfort. Sex can also be an unhealthy coping mechanism if it is used in a way to intentionally distract oneself. You ever meet someone who has a problem doing drugs? And when they go through things that are stressful, they go get the pipe, they go get the needle, they go grab a can of beer to get away from the thing that's bothering them. And this is how a lot of these women are. Hold on. Let me put some more clips on the screen for you right quick. Let's get it.
A trauma-informed approach as to why girls become hoes. So let's talk really quickly about unhealthy sexual patterns and promiscuity. So women sometimes will experience hurt in their life that makes them scared to connect with others. They close off, they're fearful. However, they still crave the connection and physical connection with a partner. It's happening within your nervous system is you are actually craving safety. Something has happened in your past that has made you feel unsafe or unworthy or whatever it might be, that you are settling for the breadcrumbs of this unhealthy promiscuous relationship pattern. When you can embody all parts of the feminine, reconnect to your true sense of self, you won't settle for the breadcrumbs, but you will attract the masculine king that you deserve in your life. So, don't be a hoe.
Well, I gotta agree with her. That was a pretty good thing. Don't be a 304. I can agree. But I hope I put something on your mind. I hope I put this theory on your mind, man. Some of these women, they are hurting, and that's the reason why they're hurting us. Okay? But at the end of the day, we must hold these women accountable, regardless of the fact if they are hurting or not. Because when you get a certain age of understanding, you should know that you need help. You know you have a problem coping. You know you have a problem maintaining good, healthy connections with people. So therefore, you need to go seek out therapy. I'm still going to be a proponent of therapy. I think women need therapy, and I think women need credible femininity coaches. I think y'all do. I think you need more than just therapy. And you need also a masculine point of view. You do. But you need to go get therapy to work out the issue that you have, to address the demons that you have in your life. Okay? And once you start to fix yourself, focus on being feminine. Because what we're seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is a bunch of women who cannot be feminine simply because that they are traumatized. A woman who is traumatized cannot be feminine. It's out of there. I guarantee you, a lot of these women who say, I don't need no men, I don't need no man at all, are women who have been hurt from past relationships or family dynamics or whatever nature it may be, women who have been betrayed, women who have been abused and had their innocence taken from them, from family members when they were children. They were let down by their narcissistic mothers. Their mothers wasn't good mothers, they abandoned them. Fathers may not be in the house. There's a whole lot of variables in this situation. But a woman can never be feminine, y'all. We tell these women all the time, be feminine, be feminine. And I do believe that's what they need to do. But you cannot be a feminine woman when you are traumatized, when you don't go get help, when you don't take accountability for how you feel and how you react and how you treat others, and you refuse to go get help, you'll never be feminine, because you have to address the things that are keeping you from being feminine. Like a man cannot be masculine if he has certain traumas in his life. There are some things that can happen to a young boy that can stunt his growth, that can stunt and slow him down from being a man, especially if he's being raised by a woman or a mother who refuses to let their boy be around male influences. It can stunt him. It can slow his growth into manhood, okay? He could be traumatized. So women, a lot of you might be saying, I'm trying to be feminine, I'm listening and all this other stuff, but it's not working out. But I still deal with jealousy issues. I still deal with insecurities. I still deal with scarcity mindsets. I still deal with fear because of things that I went through. That's because you've been traumatized and you have to go get help and get those things fixed first. Get those things fixed first and then focus on femininity. then you make yourself a good woman for a man. So you got a lot of steps. And unfortunately, you may have a whole lot of traumas that you didn't ask for from your parents. They might have just took these traumas and just set these things in your lap. You're not responsible for receiving these traumas, but you are responsible for handling these now, for managing the traumas that unfortunately you was given. It is what it is, man. So I hope y'all got something out this. You know how I get down. I'll be talking to you later. Take it easy now, you hear?
Say that you've changed, but it's too late. I gave my love away.
Oh, it's supposed to be cutting off. It just speed. I don't know if you can see me.